My name's David Livingston, for those of you I've not met in the past. And we're here tonight to effectively close the loop on a new round of grant funding and competition that the bridge project will support beginning very soon. So what is the bridge project? Here's the symbol. It is, in effect, a collaboration between faculty of the Koch Institute for Integrated Cancer Science at MIT and the Dana-Farber Harvard Cancer Center. Its primary raison d'etre is to discover new therapeutic strategies that have a much higher chance of being effective against those cancers that have been always enormous impediments to effective therapy, like glioblastoma multiforme, like pancreas cancer, which were the sole subjects of our first grant funding round this past year. And the goal is to bring together cancer science and especially engineering science, bioengineering science from MIT and from the Koch Institute, and the very extensive expertise, insight, and knowledge by the DFHCC faculty in the natural history, the molecular scientific underpinnings, and then especially the clinical outputs of disease processes for which, at the present time, therapeutics are frankly missing. Effective therapeutics are missing. So this time, we're going to add to the two tumors that were put up for competition last time, which were pancreas and glioblastoma multiforme, and we have in the past 3 months held meetings at MIT, largely for the MIT faculty to satisfy their interest in the natural history, the molecular science, and the current state of therapeutic discovery in 3 new tumors that are all inured, for the most part, to long-range therapeutic assault, and that's ovarian cancer, melanoma, and lung cancer, where there have been significant inroads in proving principle that one could attack certain targets, molecular targets, especially those that are the products of selectively mutated genes. None of those effects have been permanent, and the name of the game is to ask that teams be formed, DFHCC, MIT teams be formed by you all and by your MIT colleagues. And those teams would prepare grant applications that would be submitted to a peer review group here, here meaning at the Bridge Project, which means a combined MIT, Dana-Farber, Harvard peer review group that would review those grants the same way you'd expect them to be reviewed by a top study section anywhere, including NIH. Last time we got 16 grant applications. All were collaborative, all involved bioengineering, all were represented well by DFHCC and Koch Institute faculty. And of those 16, we awarded 4 grants of $325,000 each. Almost all of that, not all of it, but almost all of that for science, good for a year. We've reviewed the progress in those grants after 6 months, and we will again after a year, and decisions will be made as to whether or not we will be able to provide funds for a second year, which is a real possibility. And the same will hold here. So this time we're looking at most likely 4 grants. They could include any of the 3 new areas or glioblastoma and pancreas cancer. You all need to go form your teams. Think about new strategies. We're interested in innovation. We're interested in what brilliant engineering science plus brilliant cancer science plus really insightful clinical investigation can bring to bear on these problems. Submit a letter of intent. Let us know what you're interested in doing, and we'll get back to you about whether or not to submit a full grant. We asked almost everybody to submit a full grant last time. And if you do, we of course wish you nothing but the best, and we promise you a fair, honest, serious, unbiased scientific review. So noted on the screen, you'll see, and I'm going to be out of here in just a second, is that we will ask for grants to be submitted by probably October, sounds about right. They will be reviewed almost surely in November and December. And then, like last time, we will have a number of finalists, and we will invite them to come to the peer review committee, to the study section, and effectively present and answer questions. And at the end of that, we'll make final recommendations for funding. Last time we had 4 awards. They're up here. We can show this to you again. I don't want to take up a lot of your time because we do need to finish up tonight. No later than, I would say, 8:30 at the very latest. We're going to ask every speaker to keep to time. But 4 interesting grants, 3 of which attack pancreas cancer, 1 of which is focused on glioblastoma multiforme, were awarded. They're all making serious progress, a really good sign. And these are, in some cases, totally newly formed teams of people who hadn't really worked significantly with one another before. So tonight, I'm going to turn this over to Dave Lee in a moment from the Koch Institute, who's going to lead this meeting. I'll be here the entire time. And if there are serious questions about the bridge project at the end, I'd be delighted to take them. But Dave Lee will take us through the evening. You're going to hear from a number of esteemed colleagues at MIT, and I hope they knock your socks off. Thanks for coming.